Hello once again, fellow YouTubers. So let's just get straight to the point. So apparently now, Shannon Sharp is some big freak. My only thing to that is, so what? And I know everybody's on here talking about there's a big age gap and all these things. Well, look, if that man want to use this money to be a sugar daddy or pay pig or whatever y'all calling it these days, that's his business. And if some of you saw the text messages, she put it out there of how much money he was spending per cheek, as she said, allegedly. So now everybody's going so quick to think that he threatened her and all these allegations that he abused her. But if that's actually him on that video, that voice recording about the whole choke incident, y'all, come on, stop playing. Who hasn't made phone calls like that and in a way of role play or domination and things of that matter? Because if she had an issue with that, she probably would have hung the phone up. Did she? No. And I'm not taking his side against hers, but it's obvious. She's in her 20s. She's after that money. He provided the service. So, you know, it is what it is. And I know, come on, y'all, let's just be honest on here now. Who don't have those type of text messages in their phone? The majority of us do. Some of them are a little bit more graphic than what they're releasing. In his case, some of you have sent and received messages. You know, we're all guilty to a certain extent when it comes to this. The only difference is we're not in the limelight, or we're not worth millions of dollars, or we're not some young 20-year-old, I don't know if you want to call her influencer or whatever you want to call her, but you know, and I'm willing to bet he's not the only one. Am I calling her a garden tool or trashy? No, I am not. But I happen to know from personal experiences that this type of stuff goes on all the time. It's all about money. You know, I try to tell my friends all the time, even the ones that are still married, you all paying for it one way or another. So if this message kind of strikes you all as kind of harsh, then oh well. But come on, be serious. You have some of these same messages in your phone. I always tease people all the time. Boy, I hate for the son of a gun that find my phone and read my messages. I used to always say that as a joke, but jokingly serious. We've all taken part in things of this nature. Maybe not to that extreme, but for the most part. And the whole thing about the cheeks and, you know, where the tongue is gonna go and all this stuff, this is happening day in and day out. Like I said, the only thing is this man being in jeopardy of possibly losing that mega contract and losing so many millions of dollars. And let's talk about those of us on a less broader scale. Let's talk about the everyday man that's out here working at the big box. And let's just call it, he's making $25 an hour. Somewhere somebody's benefiting off him. It's just on a smaller scale. And if caught doing certain things on his job that's inappropriate, like sending stuff like that or watching certain videos, he's subject to termination too. It's just that in Shannon's case, it's multiplied by thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, if you will. And I don't know how this thing is going to play out. And I'm not going to be the one that bring race into it. But the truth of the matter is, when you get a lot of these young ladies that's of a different race other than black, they tend to think that they can use that to help play the race game and play the card. And their stock immediately goes up. So we have to always think about it that way. And I really don't think just because of her race being different from his, that it really played a big role in it. That could have been a young black lady. You know, black women are subject to doing the same things that she's alleging. So I think we should at least, if you're even interested in this subject matter, let's just take race off the table. Let's look at our own selves. Look at some of the things that we've done, some of the damaging things or some of the damaging allegations that we've made against people that are close to us. we've, like I say, in some form or fashion, we've all experienced it one way or another. It's not a good thing. And I'm not calling her a liar, calling him a liar. The simple fact is they both got caught up. And I'm quite sure if all those text messages was actually leaked, some of y'all, in the dark, twisted way that you are, would actually get off on some of those messages. For those of us that don't find what little bit they showed us to be that bad, call it experience, call it being accustomed to it, call it what you may. But, the bottom line is, even if she's making these allegations, and like one person in particular, and I happen to watch his show, and I absolutely enjoy watching that guy, she went back. If he allegedly assaulted you way back in 23, early 24, why'd you go back for more? Why did you go back? They both probably entered into this little thing. He was daddy dumb or whatever, the whole role play situation, and maybe it did get out of hand. Maybe he more focused on this contract lately, and he didn't talk to her that much about it because he was so focused on it. Maybe she was starting to feel left out. Maybe that's why she wanted to strike while the iron was hot. I don't know. I'm just assuming like everybody else. You take it for what it's worth. When you get on that ride and it's a good ride, you better enjoy that ride while you can. And I'm willing to bet when the dust settles and they throw this mess out and she's gonna be sitting over there left with nothing, she's gonna start trying to crawl back. Y'all saw the messages about her wanting him to put a baby in her and all this kind of stuff. But me personally, and I'll probably speak for a lot of men, when you get involved and you're trying to have all these explicit relationships with these young ladies, one of the biggest turnoffs is when y'all start talking about babies. I don't even know why she went there. She had a good thing going. She should have kept her damn mouth shut. Because I'm sure she was getting broken off real well by him and probably a few others. And so what? There's a big age gap. They were minding their own business. They were doing what they wanted to do. It's all fine and good. We're all out here grown at 18 and 19, but then as soon as they throw something up, when there's an age gap, then it becomes a problem. You can't be selectively grown one day and then you're treated like somebody young and innocent because you're making these allegations. She was sending the same messages too. So she was just the biggest freak as he was. And there are some that are out there that are even bigger. Like I said, it's just that a lot of people just not on that level that's in the public's eye like this. And I wouldn't get on here and defend nobody because I don't really know the whole truth of the story. I'm just simply saying, hey, Shay, if it was that good for you and it was 25 grand per cheek and you could afford it, oh well. But on a lower scale, the same little dude right now, little Johnny, he probably paying $250 a cheek. So y'all need to just stop. Y'all need to stop. And it could have been, if there was a transaction, it could have been somewhere where it probably is considered to be legal. So if there's no kind of, the only thing that possibly could be illegal with this was the fact that solicitation. And I'm not an attorney and all this kind of stuff, but I don't think this man assaulted her. Now, he probably roughed her up real good. I mean, look at him. He's a big, strong country boy. He probably did. He probably does know how to manhandle women. He also said on several of his shows, or even back in the day, he like a big, thick country girl. So picking her up is probably like the equivalence of one of us picking up a 5-pound dumbbell, maybe a 10-pound dumbbell. So if y'all want to call that being roughed up and she going back, where's the allegation immediately after? When let's just say maybe he did hold her captive. He let her go the next morning. Why didn't she go straight to the police station then? With all the evidence. See, it's this kind of trickery. Whether it's your jump off, your girlfriend, or your wife. When stuff get out of hand, that's when they start trying to play the innocent. Which makes it harder for people that are actually abused in this manner. So who do you believe? When you got these people out here making these allegations that are so untrue, when they were willing participants in it and they was receiving the benefits from it. Yes, I believe she's looking for a quick payday. Did he maybe rough her up a couple of times? I believe he possibly did rough her up a couple of times. But when you're in the heat of passion and you throwing back and forth these kind of messages right here, you're essentially poking the barrel. So you almost giving it the okay. And whether or not she got in the middle of it and she decided not to, and this man is in full stroke or whatever you want to call it, it may have been hard for him to pull up. But once again, I'm not defending him. I'm just like everybody else. I want to wait and see. And I would love to see some of those other text messages. I was just teasing a friend of mine earlier today when they brought it up. I say, well, you should see what's in my phone. I just be teasing about some of that stuff, but I have said some pretty wild stuff. I really have. And some people have sent me some wild stuff. But is it worth me trying to throw somebody under the bus and try to get that quick payday? I don't know. It's not. It's not. It's not. I've always commented on stuff like this. If somebody was paying me this kind of money and I was providing certain things, why in the heck am I finna risk losing all that or just keep doing what I'm doing? See, people get in certain positions and then when it gets too big for them, they don't know how to handle it. And ironically enough, he was on the eve or maybe a few days shy of that $100 million contract, which was like the next day. And then all these allegations popped up a day or two before that. So that lets you know it's a money grab. Because I'm quite sure if this stuff was out 2 months ago, they would have hushed it. They would have hushed it. He probably would have paid her off. And I did see where allegedly his team offered her $10 million to go away. That could very well be. Pay the trick off. Pay her off. Good riddance. Hey, it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, those are my messages. His team handed over the messages. But just by offering her some money to get rid of it, it's not admitting guilt. I really don't think he did nothing wrong unless they can absolutely prove that he did. Unless this man physically, really seriously, 100% assaulted her. Somebody that was a willing participant, somebody that was in these text messages talking about pump babies in her and where her tongue is going, all this kind of stuff. Come on now. Come on. That makes about as much sense as, and I don't want to say this and be funny about it, but a man goes out here and assault a woman and then she sends him a love letter the next day. And 2 days later, she won't report it. Come on, y'all just need to stop thinking about it. Y'all need to think rationally about this whole situation. I know it's Shay Shay. He's out there. Here he go again. Hey, he's a celebrity. He's a main fixture in day-to-day television, internet, everywhere you look. So, I got a funny feeling that when all is said and done, and his name is cleared, and I know some of the people that's on his team and some of the people that he co-hosts with, they voiced their opinion. They hope he don't lose his career over this mess. But I got a funny feeling that he's not. I believe that when all is said and done, he's going to end up getting $100 million and more. And now, if he wasn't already breaking social media records with all this stuff that he's been doing, it's really gonna blow up. Once all this calmed down, all he gotta do is sit up to get on one of his shows, his Club Shay Shay show, and talk by himself for an hour. He probably reach a good 100 million people, which is gonna be a big payday. As soon as they put to bed all these lies. Now, if he's guilty of it, hey, by all means, the fullest extent of the law, as they say. I really don't think that's the case, though. I really don't think so. And this is coming from somebody that knows how vindictive that devil seed can be. And that can be a man or a woman. I'm not on here putting no women down and saying all of y'all are like this, but we all know somebody that knows somebody that acts exactly like she is with her allegations. We all know. And we all know somebody that probably sending these kind of messages, and first it went to they were claiming he leaked his own sex tape and all this kind of stuff. Y'all heard right then that man was going in beast mode. And then everybody went to about, well, it wasn't that long. See, y'all ain't never satisfied. Some women ain't never satisfied. That man not one time said he gonna have somebody up all night long. For what it's worth, whatever he gave her, whoever that person was at the time obviously was enjoying it. Also, this one right here, she's enjoying it. You know, and I don't even follow social media that much. I don't even know who she is, other than the fact that all this popped up. I don't even recognize her, because I don't even follow it that much. But when people get on here and they're making all these allegations constantly, and I know we got some guilty people. I know everybody's trying to correlate this with the other ones that's going on. And y'all, look here. Hang one out to dry at a time. Don't start pulling everybody else's mess into his mess. This is his mess to deal with. This ain't got nothing to do with those other ones. You know, they did they dirt too. And I really believe that. I really believe they are guilty in a lot of things. I mean, they had it on video themselves. I mean, they pretty much dropped the dime on themselves. But in this case right here, I don't know. I don't know how willing she was and all these messages that she was putting out there. You know, yeah, she was trying to reel them in. She was trying to reel them in. And I think that's what's going to backfire on her. And then she's going to be the person who once was. Yeah, somebody's going to put her on the show. She's going to get on there and cry. She's going to get a few more followers. And the sad part about it, we all are going to continue to help her grow. Even if this turns out to be some big ass lie she told and made up, those of you that are the drama chasers are going to skyrocket her career even more. Whoever the hell she is. Nah, I know I'm not mad because, you know, they making that money. Hell, if I blow up like that too, I wish one of them would come. Hey, yeah, we did. Here it is. Here's the video. Or here's the text message. I did the same damn thing he did. You know, if you don't throw me under the bus, I'm dragging you up under there with me. You best believe that. And the simple fact that he was honest enough to send those messages to the attorney, and the attorneys, they made it public to her alleged attorneys. So, hey, they pretty much saying to her, now it's your call, what you want to do. And if they gave her 10 million to shut the hell up and go away, at this point she knows she's cornered. She might as well just take the money, if she hadn't already, and just gone about her business. And y'all know this to be true. A lot of y'all out here don't send those same kind of messages on a day-to-day basis, daily, hourly. But now you got a problem with it. Check your own phone. Yeah, check them. Because we are all guilty to a certain extent. And for those of you that are not, this ain't even about you. You squeak it clean. But as far as these people that are choosing sides, and now they're making such a big difference in age, and maybe he took advantage of her, I really don't see that. I don't see that. Two willing participants, one that had a big motive. They both had a motive. He seeked pleasure. She provided it. But then she got greedy. Tricking don't last forever. You know, it might last a month. Some people it may last 15, 20 years. But at some point, it's going to come to a head, and you need to just turn your ass around and go back where you came from, instead of dragging people through the mud. Because he probably already realized that he's tired of you. He's burnt out with you. He's had his fun. You know, he's already elevated up to here. His freak level has gone through the roof. There's nothing else left for you. So maybe he felt that way. Maybe he was just so focused on his career, he didn't have time to play with you all day, every day like that. Who knows? For whatever reason, she decided to do this. But the bottom line is, it's all about money. You would ruin somebody's career and their name over some money. Which, like I said, this probably ain't the only person she's dealing with like this. So what's going to end up probably happening, some of these other brothers going to get out here and going to come forward and say, oh no, she's been playing that same game with me too. And the reason why some of them probably hasn't spoken up yet, if they haven't already, I don't know. You know, by the time you see this video, they probably have. But Only reason why some of the other brothers haven't spoken up yet, because they're all probably married and they don't want to lose their home life. But I guarantee you, I bet he wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only trick. So if you putting yourself out here, it's unheard of for a woman to just have one trick. You know. It could be rare cases. I'm just simply saying. So y'all can believe what y'all want to believe. I believe she's full of it. I believe she's just going for that payday. And if she gets it, by all means, more power to her. But to ruin this man's career, and now you got Disney and all these other corporations that he's involved with, you know, they're waiting, they're weighing it out, they're gonna see what's what. And he probably lose this lucrative contract and anything else. You know, and I think at that point, he's already made it big. I don't know what he's gonna do. Redevelop your podcast, get somewhere else, get some other backers. There are gonna be plenty of people out there that's probably willing to back him and promote him. It may be on a lower scale, but it'll grow. It will grow. I don't think this is gonna completely ruin him if he's found guilty of anything. It's gonna be a major setback. Well, that's a lot of money we talking about, y'all. That's a big ass check. But the way I see it now, she's really trying to play him. And that same attorney, whoever or whatever, yeah, I know who it is, but I ain't putting no names out there. I ain't even worth y'all suing. But y'all gonna get this half empty bottle of water I got. But y'all know that's some bull crap. Y'all all know that. I wasn't gonna say anything about this because I really just was sitting there thinking about it, looking at it. And you know, my only twist to this, if I had to add something to it, like I said earlier, majority of us are guilty of the same stuff, sending those kind of messages and receiving those kind of messages. I just did a couple of YouTube lives about the same thing, about people with their secret dark desires and their other person and they jump offs and all these things. I just did a couple of these shows about that. I really did. So it's not, but see, when it gets on a broader scale, now even those that are guilty of this same thing also, they find a problem with it. What's the big problem? Even some of these older women out here chiming in about, Shannon, you should have got your older woman. You don't need to be out here with these young girls. But guess what? That man highly successful, 54, 55 years old, haven't slowed down yet. Maybe he don't want an old lady. Yeah, he's an older man, but maybe he don't want to sit there and talk about medication and your eye bothering you and all your grandkids. That man's still out here getting it in. And maybe that's part of his career, maybe because he stays hyped up, maybe his exercise regimen, whatever the case may be. But he's 54, 55 years old. He wants some fire. And that's what he was after. So for all the older women that's out here that's really got a big issue with it, like, yeah, you should leave them young girls alone. Come on, y'all. It ain't about that. Because had he got a hold to one of y'all would have probably did the same damn thing. And the fact that he don't want to settle down and have somebody his age, well, maybe that's just not in him. He's already told you about his life, how highly competitive he is. Maybe he don't look at y'all as competition, but that's no reason to get mad. There's no reason to get mad. And a lot of you that are out here that's in your 50s and 60s, ladies that are so highly upset because he chose that young lady. Hey, you had your chance when you was 20. When that old dude across the street was trying to holler at you. May have been on a lower scale, but you had your chance. And a lot of you probably even acted on it. So why don't you get on here and be honest about yourselves? You know, who hasn't done something strange for some change? Yeah, speak up. And see, all these ones out here that's 50, 55, 60 years old, and all these women getting on here pretending to be so, I wouldn't. That's why he need this, he need that. Come on, y'all. Peel back some of your own layers and look at them. All of us are getting on here trying to help this woman drag this man through the mud if that's what's actually happening. But a lot of us, including myself, I can give him all my support. You know. So okay, Shannon, yeah, you're a big old freak. You're a dirty old something. Yeah. So and everybody was legal. 2 willing participants. The only big difference is they let money get involved. So that's up to the courts to decide. Maybe he wasn't paying her for the favors. You know, maybe he gave her $25 for that cup of tea over there that he wanted so badly, her fresh brew. But she threw it out there. It was $25,000 per cheek. She threw it out there. She let y'all know right then that she's about that paper, and he could afford it. Because a majority of men on here, or in society, they like old classic cars and young fast women. But now that it's out here, you know, aunties and all these, they come on now, auntie, come on, you got a little freak in you too. So stop tripping, stop playing. And it's the same stuff I was talking about in some of the little live videos I did, how people act. I've been kind of touching on this same subject, and yeah, on a very much lower scale, of course. But this kind of stuff is going on all the time. And don't act like I'm the only one to say something like that. But hell, Shannon, you got it. Good shit, man. Good. But when all is said and done, and she attempt to drag your ass through the mud, I know you ain't the type brother that'll do it, but drag her back through that same mud puddle she tried to drag you through. Put all her business out there, since she want to be so public about it. And he said a lot of times he don't try to air out his private life. Maybe this is the reason why, because America can't handle it when it comes to light. Because we so accustomed and so trained to do everything under the table or on the down low, as they say. See, we can't handle it when it all comes out. Whether this man is innocent or guilty, I do not know. But I disagree with the way the thing the way it came up. We all know it's about money. You know, we all know it's about tricking. And like I said, he wasn't the only trick. I bet you there's 2 more that she's dealing with. And maybe one of them got so much of a strong pull on her, he helped orchestrate this, because he want to get a cut out of her cut. Now, if she dumb enough to let one of her other tricks talk her into trying to bring him down, and she gonna pay him, now she really is a fool, allegedly. I don't know if that's what's happening, but in a lot of cases, there's always somebody behind the scenes that helping to orchestrate this, long before she brought any attorney into the situation. So y'all not even thinking about the realistic part of this. But if she does get that $10 million that they claim that it was offered, lady, take your money and run. Just take it and run. Because we know these allegations that you've made has to be some of the weakest stuff that you came up with, especially considering prior to all this, all the dirty messages that you were sending. Come on now. Y'all need to stop. But anyway, enough about that. That's my take on this whole thing. Shannon, we wish you luck. We hope you pull through. We hope you get that big ass check. You know, and keep going. I know a lot of people don't even agree with your shows. I absolutely like them. I watch them. Good luck to you.